The change to Butterwood Raceway for 2020 is the installation of the check lanes. This video gets into the rationale behind the change, in a lot more detail than the introduction video. It is important to remember that the reason for the inside track of Butterwood Raceway was to partially address the issues of circular or oval tracks. Those tracks have an issue where the inside lane is always favored over the outside lane, even though the outside lane has an advantage of containment for cars that have difficulty with turns. The motivation for the inside loop at Butterwood Raceway was the Daytona Road Course, where they address the same issue of the typical oval track. An exact duplication of the Daytona Road Course was not possible due to the amount of available space. But nonetheless, the tight turn at the end of the inside loop partially addressed the issue. The two check lanes have been added, that, when coupled with the start-finish line, divide the track into 3 sectors. These 2 additions will allow assisted drivers to add additional strategy to their race plans, which of course will depend on their car's capability and the driver's responsiveness. Studying the numbers provided by the check lane addition will give the drivers the information needed to form a race strategy. Prior to this change, drivers could not effectively analyze their car's behavior on the track. Some cars are good on the straights and weak on the turns, and others are sensitive to just the distance covered, and therefore being on the right side of the track in sectors 1 and 3 compared to sector 2 is important. After all, distance is distance when it comes to track times. Those of you who watched the intro video to this year's change will notice that the placement of the second check lane is different now. With that as a lead-in, let's look at the numbers. Butterwood Raceway averages 52.33 feet long. I say average because while the length of the track is indeed 52.33 feet long, that is the measurement of the center of the track. There is an outside lane on the left, red, and an inside lane on the right, blue. The inside lane is 51.66 feet long and the outside lane is 53 feet long. So by the numbers, the inside lane has an advantage, in spite of the intersection of the track attempting to equalize the 1.66 foot difference. Let's examine the 3 sectors in detail. Sector 1 favors the inside lane, blue. The difference between the two is a distance of 10 inches or nearly 2 car lengths. Sector 2, with the new placement, provides an opposite lane advantage of 12 inches or exactly 2 car lengths. However, that point is before the squeeze turn, which subtracts from that advantage about 6 inches. Nevertheless, Sector 2 has an advantage for distance for the outside lane, red. Finally, Sector 3, being similar and almost the exact same length as Sector 1, brings another 12-inch advantage to the inside lane, blue. With practice and knowledge of the timing of any particular car, any driver can achieve judicious use of the 3-lane changes. If, and that is a big if, the driver decides to go with just the math of it, then 2-lane changes on each lap will take place. This is because, considering just the math, Section 1 has a blue advantage, Sector 2 has a red lane advantage, and Sector 3 has again a blue lane advantage. Making the decision, yellow, and the actual lane changes, green, shown here. The check lanes gives you the math. Now it's up to the team to decide whether or not to use them. "2020 will be another year of intense racing at Butterwood Raceway.